can both be early and large. It's a big monumental historical turnover comparable to the innovation cycle 100 years ago with electrification and the internal combustion engine and the telephone all entering the marketplace at the same time.
We are on the verge of a huge change, and Tesla is going to benefit from it. Let's dive in.
Joining us now is Brett Winton, Chief Futurist at Ark Investment Management, and Sachin Dev Dugal, founder of Builder.ai. Brett, let's start with you. We continue to hear quite a bit about AI as it relates to cloud, as it relates to advertising with some of these big tech companies. Which are the areas in which you see the most potential and growth going forward with AI?
It's clear that there's going to be, we believe, trillions of dollars that will be spent on AI software over the course of this business cycle. And it's interesting to me that everybody seems to think that mega cap tech is the place to play. That might be the most dangerous place to be, given how they were all in their own competitive swim lanes, and now they're all competing with each other in this emerging technology area. Look at Google Search. That is a franchise that is a massive monopoly. It's worth 100 plus, it's 160 billion in revenue per year. And that profitability is being put under threat by AI. So the fact that the opportunity is so large means these companies that right now are very large actually might be small relative to the ultimate opportunity. That both means, hey, if they can get in front of this, they can grow quite a bit larger, or it means somebody else could eat them up along the way.
Years ago, I actually had a little bit of Alphabet stock, which is Google, and I thought, how can this be disrupted by anyone else? And then I started seeing all of this AI development, and I thought, eventually I think Google is going to be perhaps in trouble, maybe, but I didn't think it would be this soon. I didn't own much of it, but then I sold it. I put that into S&P 500, and then later I sold all of my S&P 500 and put all of that into Tesla stock. When my family asks me which stocks they should buy, I tell them S&P 500 and then Tesla stock. But don't put more into Tesla stock than what you are willing to lose, because I know they can't stomach the volatility.
So we actually think some of the interesting places to invest are companies that have deployed in-use assets and can deliver AI software to those assets. So take Tesla, has the largest deployed fleet of robots in the world. If you can turn those cars they sold into robo-taxis, then that transforms their economic model. Given the pace of advance in AI, Tesla is better positioned to take economic advantage of it than some of the underlying AI-focused tech companies that are beginning to compete with each other in a really aggressive way.
Specifically talking about full self-driving, Google has a huge problem. You see, it's not just that they chose to use LiDAR. It's more that if their full self-driving division, Waymo, actually solves full self-driving, they make money. But if it almost solves it, like if they just get this close to it, they make no money. But in Tesla's case, if Tesla is so close to solving full self-driving, Tesla will sell a lot more FSD upgrades. When there was wide optimism about full self-driving, the take rate was over 40% and as high as over 50%. The thing I love about Tesla, there are just so many backup plans that Tesla has to make it work in the long term, even if the core plan does not really work out as intended. But Google, even though the self-driving car project has been launched so long ago, how much money has Google made from this project? No money. It's losing money. In Tesla's case, in the US, over 10% of all of the customers actually upgrade to full self-driving. That goes to Tesla's bottom line.
Sachin, how do you see spending as far as your clients are concerned going forward? I mean, are they putting this as a priority when it comes to spending in AI? And what do you see going forward if there is a slowdown?
I think the widest spectrum is we're seeing more people build software at an unprecedented pace. Today, the worldwide demand for developers is probably over 500 million, and the worldwide supply is probably shy of 50 million. And I think this is driven largely by every echelon of the business sort of pyramid, right? From small businesses or micro SMBs, up to enterprises, the edge of enterprise, There's almost 100 million new companies being started every year. And so you're definitely not seeing a slowdown. I think what you're seeing now, and especially what happened with AI, is the user interface has changed. You've gone from a world where we used to give people tools and people struggle to use them. Most people use a calculator with Excel, for example. And if I said Java, they think coffee, not a programming language. And I think what you're seeing with what's happening now is the user interface has gone back to something that they feel a lot more comfortable, which is conversation or speech or that chat-like experience, but it's much richer. So you're seeing a lot more demand. The interfaces are becoming easier, especially with sort of platforms like ours. And we're taking away the technical expertise that you needed to be in the digital game, and which means now that small businesses will start using more and more AI, more and more recommendation systems, which, by the way, are not new technologies. They've been around for a while, but they've just become more mainstream.
About 15 years ago, I was building my first websites and I knew some HTML. It was very useful and I was able to build my websites quite a bit better because of that knowledge. But now you have all of these website builders where you just drag any element you see on the page and you drop it wherever you would like and it just works. Technically, that was kind of possible quite a few years ago, but you would drag the thing, drop it, and then the whole website would collapse. Exactly like a long-term Tesla bear thesis. And if you didn't save your progress, you have to start from scratch almost. You have to realign everything, move everything back. It was such a headache. The world is changing very significantly and fast, and Tesla will be a part of it.
Yeah, and I guess the ease of use, to your point, might be experiencing a change. Sachin, one more for you, because your comment caught my attention a few moments ago when you talked about the hysteria and confusion around AI. What would be like the big picture message that you would want to put out on that front to try to clear up the hysteria and confusion?
Yeah, I think it's a very powerful technology, but it's not new. And the ramifications of it are still not understood, partly because it hasn't really reached prime time. And so when you think about where AI is today, it's almost like a young child. And so needs to be sort of looked at and evaluated as a young child that can do some really incredible things, but it's still a young child. It hasn't built a value system as such. And when I think about how people are concerned like their jobs are going to disappear tomorrow, I think what you're going to first see before really jobs disappear en masse is you're going to see people become more efficient or more efficient because there is generally across industries a massive mismatch between demand, which is growing rapidly, and supply and the rate at which we can produce skilled labor. And I think just the AI itself is very nuanced. Everything is not a large language model. Everything is not going to sort of be in front of you tomorrow. And so for the creative elements of society, it's great because it gets rid of some of the mundane work. And then for business processes is also really solid because it's allowing businesses to operate with lower costs, which I think is really key for where the world is right now.
We are entering very interesting times. I clone myself with AI. She fooled my bank and my family. Until just now, if you saw a video online of something, you were pretty certain, yeah, this actually happened. Now, you can't believe anything that you really see. Anything could be computer generated. A lot of my friends are also worried about AI and their job security. You just have to do your very best at your job. If you are in the top 10% and you use AI, you will probably become a whole lot more productive and likely you will keep your job. And not only that, you will probably make a whole lot more money. Unless you are very close to retirement, right now is not the time to relax and take it easy, take it slow. Right now is the time to work hard and buy some Tesla stock. The music industry is about to get seriously disrupted again. Sawyer posted a link to a song that was computer generated. It was a Drake song, and I listened to it and I couldn't tell that it was AI generated. It was that good. So someone like Drake could literally stop making songs, just have AI make songs, and then he just performs live, I guess. He could literally make 100 songs in a day.
I'm sort of torn here because on the one hand, I'm getting the message that it's early yet and we don't know quite yet how this is going to play out. On the flip side, you're saying like there are companies that already have an advantage here and going to push ahead. Brett, for an investor, what do I do between those various messages?
Well, I think it can both be early and large, as in if the ultimate opportunity is very large, and companies are already seeing ROI on deploying AI against their processes today, it means that you will see a lot of companies pull ahead of the competition because they're more agile, they're more innovative, they have distributed assets that they can push AI software into.
That's why I want Tesla to stay more as a startup and really act more like a startup. Who knows how many more opportunities are coming out that Tesla will benefit from in the future that right now we just can't really think of because it hasn't happened yet.
And kind of the ultimate opportunity for those companies could be transformative. So we believe that the entire business landscape is turning over under people's feet, and it's not a small turnover. It's a big, monumental, historical turnover comparable to the innovation cycle 100 years ago with electrification and the internal combustion engine and the telephone all entering the marketplace at the same time.
And Tesla is going to be a part of that massive, monumental, historical turnover.
That's really the scope of what's occurring here. And it means that every technology is going to accelerate. It's not just AI. Every company is going to have to become a technology company to compete and survive. And, every person is going to effectively become a coder using an AI system. Every knowledge worker will, at least. And so we believe that this will both transform the economy and that we are in the earlier stages. Both of those things can be true simultaneously.
I own a business in healthcare, and that business is winning because whenever new technology comes out, we adapt to it as soon as we possibly can. All of our competitors are way behind. For example, some of them, until now, you have to call them to actually make an appointment. In our case, you just go to our website and you can make an appointment online. And I'm looking forward to the day when something like ChatGPT can submit insurance claims to insurance companies and deal with all of that. Right now, that's a huge headache. Although there is a piece of technology that helps us accelerate that process, and our competitors are still using manual ways of submitting these claims.
It always looks like an inflection point when you're in the moment. But I think if you fast forward 3 years, this will seem like a relatively flat place, and that will seem like an inflection point. The cost to train AI systems are falling 3x per year in our view.
Very well said. I also just posted a new exclusive video on Patreon. The title of the video is "This is Unfair. Is it rigged or just outdated?" The video, of course, is about Tesla. And this video explains why the Tesla board members are now buying more Tesla stock. My name is Matt Pocius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.